is May 30th at the Scott residence, doing a bi-weekly maintenance and starting with the end of their driveway or beginning. I'd like to point out the difference in the grasses on the left versus these thriving grasses on the right, and also that we noted there may be an irrigation issue because this was almost puddling the more you dug deep. We weren't sure if that was from rain or irrigation, but this side was dry, and now, it's definitely showing just some differences, but otherwise we raked through for debris and straw bits and pulled the hyacinths and deadheaded and fluffed the soil, and we're getting it back into the proper form right now. It is still very firm soil, but kind of whacked at it with the rake. Turned out a little bit better. There's just from both sides. And then fast forwarding to the rest of the property. I will point out this tree has some damage on the left here. It's almost like dead in the center. And then very red around the edges. We did not get to the perimeter of the driveway very much today. We had other focuses in the beds. But we did weed through the rock walls and also the drain wall or drain segment of rock over here. Really tidying up all those weeds and grasses that were growing where they don't need to be. And then getting the dandelion and grasses and weeds out of those rock walls. Ooh, allergies. This rock wall also got thoroughly weeded. We pretty much eradicated those nasty grasses and thistle. We got thistle out from basically the whole perimeter of the property, of any garden bed, and then getting those grasses out. So just beautiful ground cover. And then going to the circle, weeding, raking, fluffing through. We really do need a little bit more material to cover up certain parts of weed cloth, but we did cut the weed cloth that was visible over here just because there was no other solution until the cover starts growing on it. But over here things are growing in, really whacking at the soil to try to loosen it up. See those nice rake lines, deadheading daffodils. Foliage is still good. We might pull it next time, but we'll see. Lots of hyacinth removing. And then underneath the bird feeder, sprouts. Just sprouts of everything from those seeds. So really thoroughly got in there. Loving the way that's looking. The yarrow is starting to spread pretty far and wide. So it'll be a mission next time to maybe locate areas in which it's desired or what we think is too much, like maybe this zone is okay, but maybe we localize it a little more up here. We're just still letting things grow since it's early season. Over on the side of the house here, we did water this beautiful specimen on the trellis and most other things that we could reach within the vicinity as well. But raking through our typical, wow, super clean, fluffing, taking deadheads, debris out, weeding. It's so nice to see this with sunlight. It's, shaded for the majority of the day. Super clean all around. And I want to walk back over here into the shadowy area because we do have some Helleborus that are still surviving. Really nicely got to rake through here since there's absolutely no more snow. There was definitely still snow last time. So all the snow is gone. The soil is fluffed through, weeded and raked. There was some damage to the arborvitae or the yews. A lot of them are very severely bent, but some of them are straight broken. And then the planters, we deeply watered the planters just so it has a little bit of a chance. For now, remove the pansies that were totally gone and then left some that we thought had some value left, some promise. Just another view of the garden and the dogwoods growing in. There's a little bit of growth on the dogwood here, so we watered those thoroughly as well. The Angelina is doing better. Took out the dead stuff. These guys, these little pines, really not sure about them. They just drop needles instantly. They might be totally dry, but we soaked them anyway, and hopefully we can, save these guys as well. They're not doing terrible. Yeah, there's some pine cones up top, so we have some new growth, and hopefully the watering really helped there. Just got those back in order. Another view, still waiting for the steps to kind of grow in a little stronger. The peonies are starting to pop up. Hyacinth are mostly gone. Daffodils are mostly gone, just a little bit here and there. And got this nicely raked through. We also moved the stones back into place. Some of the stones were like all over, like this guy. They don't need to be over there. They can be in their rock section. Still waiting on some growth from a few of these Russian sage. Yep, and then getting the rocks in order, doing a lot of weeding throughout this area too. Just random little things here and there, and then dandelions that were down in here. But this looks so much better when it's super dialed in. There is some exposure of certain pipes and things, and more ground cloth, so it would be nice if we had a little more soil pep or mulch just to lay down on this pathway, especially. Allergies. We watered back here, a little bit down here, but also on that bed that we planted last fall or last summer. So this got raked and weeded, just tiny details of grasses that had grown through. Blew out every surface with a leaf blower and weeded between. Things are still looking good from last time. This wire keeps exposing itself, but what can you do except continually cover it? We had a journey over here trying to cover that utility top, that green thing, and so we got that covered with more soil. The soil is fluffed through. We watered the dogwoods. Those poor things needed a lot more water. We watered the apple trees. Not sure if this one's going to come back. It is looking pretty rough. Very scraped and broken and pretty annihilated, but I don't know, there might still be a little hope for it. This one's just already shooting the leaves out, so we'll see. There was a big moose footprint that was new from the last 2 weeks, so these could just get devoured again. Yay for the moose. Up here, raking, weeding, fluffing through, and you'll see still showing signs of being watered, thankfully. Nice and soaked, and that those dogwoods and hydrangeas and things can really thrive. We did our usual, the crazy weeding of grasses and dandelions out this way, so the pathway is flawless. Blew all of this out up here, including up by the furniture. This is immaculate, the hollyhock, the ground cover. Just perfect. Same thing over here. Couldn't be any better. Every weed removed. We used a little bit of Velcro tape to help the honeysuckle grow. Let me see those tiny little green pieces grow onto the trellis, because it is starting to grow way more than last time, so I'm really stoked about that. But we just need it to go much higher, so now it has a path. The rocks, still concerning, still pretty crumbly down there, so we are avoiding stepping on those at all cost. There we go. Clean with the doormats put back into place. Nice, and we picked up all of the tools. We did remove one of the blue grasses from up here. It was just completely dead and an eyesore. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a difference in the soil texture right now, but we did fluff through the beds and the first upper level, getting the weeds, aka grasses and dandelions, out of these beautiful balls of plant life. These ones are looking not too bad, but it would be cool to do something a little different with these. Maybe something flowery. Up here, beautifully raked through. And then I gotta jump around. This is an area where the Russian sage is shooting off like crazy, so we dialed it back to this zone. Really not seeing a lot of growth on it yet. There's just a little bit, so in the meantime, just kind of letting things grow around it. Fluffing through, raking, weeding the rest of it. Really happy with how it's looking. But, you know, if there's new growth next time on the main bush, we should probably tidy up a little cleaner around the rest of it. Weeding through this lovely little step area. Also getting grasses out of between the upper level. So that's nice and clean. And then all of this is blown off, of course, but I want to pop down there. We weeded between the steps, this area, just left those main focal point plants, and then, yep, nice and clean, ready for whatever happens in there. Okay, and then we're back to the front, and I covered the driveway at the end, so that'll be all for today's weekly maintenance. Thank you very much.